friends, thank you so much for being here. My name is August and this is another weekly reading vlog. Since I last did a reading vlog, so many new faces have joined. So thank you so much for subscribing, for being here on this little adventure where we just talk about like thrifting and books and underrated books and the love of reading. I just so appreciate how many of you have recently subscribed. Like, I've definitely freaked out about it the past few days, so thank you so much. My heart is so full. I just finished an engagement session. If you're new to this channel, you might not know, but I am a professional wedding and portrait photographer. That is my job. I love it so much, and I just finished an engagement session with a really wonderful couple. The sun was setting. It's still kind of setting behind me here. We got some gorgeous shots. It was so beautiful, and I'm really excited to go home and edit. So today has been really, really lovely so far. This morning, I started reading Creatures by Crissy Van Meter. And if you've been following me and you saw my April TBR, if not, I'll link it down below for you all. But every year in the month of April is my birthday month, and I save my 5-star prediction books and the books I've been looking forward to read the most for my birthday month. Don't ask me why, this is just a thing I do. So usually April is like 5-star read, 5-star read, 5-star read, and it's splendid. And I geek out about it, and it's a really wonderful time. So I just started Creatures, and I found a used copy of it pretty recently. So it's been just sitting on my shelves, staring at me, taunting me for the start of April. And I started it this morning, and I'm really, really loving it. I don't have a whole lot to say because I only got into like chapter 3. It's a pretty short book, but it takes place on an island, which I love. I'm realizing more and more that I love locations and settings of books where it's kind of isolated. So like an island, or like just some sense of like solitude, like a cabin or on a lake, like quiet. I don't know. I am thoroughly enjoying myself. It's a great time. The book that I'm also listening to right now is an audiobook called Meaty by Samantha Irby. And why have I never listened to a Samantha Irby book before? She writes essays. It's like a memoir essays, and she narrates the audiobooks, and it's funny as hell, but it's so tragic and sad, how she grew up, her life, things that are happening. Absolutely loving this series of essays. I'm really excited about it. I believe I'm at like 30% of the way through that, so I think I could probably finish that this week as well. But yeah, so now on my way back home, and I'm gonna start editing some of these images. The rest of the week is going to be doing some work for my business, so we'll see how much reading I can get done because I'm kind of behind on some, important government stuff. Tax season. So I gotta do taxes for my business, which if you're a small business owner and you're doing your taxes, we got this. Alas, time to hit the road. Thank you again so much for being here. I hope wherever you are, you're doing really, really well, and I will check in with you all soon. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is gorgeous. Got a sticker. It's amazing. Your bracelet. It's so beyond gorgeous. That's honestly so freaking gorgeous. Thank you, Nika. I love you. Hi friends, it is now Monday afternoon. I just finished filming my March wrap-up video, which took so long. Now it is time for me to go ahead and pick up all these books and go ahead and shelve them. I keep them separate until I'm done filming my wrap-ups, and once I'm done filming, I can go ahead and then put them on my other bookshelves. So this is my TBR shelf, and now I'm gonna go put them over in the books that I have read. So let's go ahead and do that. So first off, we need to organize these into books I want to keep, books I need to return, and then books I want to get rid of eventually. So I think I'm going to keep this for now for a little bit. It was a lot of fun. And I will link the video below so you guys can watch it and hear my full thoughts on these books, but go ahead and that. I'm gonna keep this copy as well. My dad seemed like he'd be interested in reading this, so I might let him borrow that. I'm gonna keep Flower Fables. I'm going to keep Our Tragic Universe, of course. This was my 5-star read of March. And I'm gonna hang on to the copy of The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Thankfully, since I hated this book, it's my dad's copy, so I'm going to give that back to him, along with the two other books I read that were his this month, which was Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil was my dad's, as well as Woman in the Dark by Dashiell Hammett. I'm going to go ahead and return that to him, and then I'm going to add the last book I have here, Burning Blue, into my little free library donate pile, which I'm accumulating and will eventually go ahead and give a bunch of books to the libraries. So that is that. Guys, I just reorganized all my books and it looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, I can't handle it. It looks so cute. I have gotten so many requests lately to do, I got 2 requests to give a bookshelf tour, so that will definitely be coming sometime soon, hopefully. But just as a little sneak peek into this vlog, these are all the books that I've read that I absolutely loved and didn't want to part with. Typically, once I finish a book and I didn't really enjoy it that much, I get rid of it because I have very limited shelf space. So these are the books that I've read. Some of them are pretty recent that I'm like waiting to see if they stick with me and I want to keep them. But these are the books that I have that I love. So yeah, it feels really good to have them like fit a little nicer, and yeah, I'm really proud. Well, friends, it is now Tuesday and I need to conclude this vlog, but then I realized I barely talked to you all about what the heck I'm actually reading. I was able to finish reading Creatures this morning. I devoted a little bit more time than like, I feel guilty that I spent so much of this morning reading when I have so much on my plate that I need to get done. But I was so engrossed. I needed to finish this. I wouldn't feel complete finishing this vlog without finishing this book. Oh my sweet goodness, you guys. Oh my God, this broke me. This broke me in half. Oh, it was so sad, and I didn't think it would be sad. When I first started reading it, I was like, oh, this is very different than what I anticipated. It's following our main character, Evangeline, and it's written from her perspective. And she lives on this small island. Her mom has been in and out of her life, really wasn't a motherly figure for her. So we open with that relationship, and then it dives into Evie's relationship with her father. And there are a lot of trigger warnings in here, specifically around addiction. Addiction is a really, really big part of this book. Her father is an alcoholic, and it just talks about her complicated relationship with him, knowing that he loves her, but he is unable to physically provide for her. They're homeless a lot of the time. It's just a very difficult childhood, but it's on this remote island that seems like it'd be so romantic and beautiful to live on. It just describes her growing up, and the whole book bounces between childhood and all of these things, so the timeline is very scattered. It's pretty easy to pick up on like what timeline you're in though, and then interspersed throughout here are these little vignettes, and that's where I get that poeticness that I assumed going into this book it would be. As I kept reading it today though, I started tearing up. Oh. I was getting incredibly emotional when she's talking about her relationship with her father in that second tense. I would love to read to you all it's at the back of the book, but I promise it's not going to spoil anything because it's just so poetic. This is from the excerpt Blue Whale, which is, oh my gosh, do I even try to read this Latin? Balaenoptera musculus. Your father will tell you that your ribs are the same as a whale's, a rounded, white, brittle cage that holds all the moving things inside you. That's where your heart goes, he'll say, and he'll put his hand on top of his chest and count off the beats with a funny drum sound he makes between his lips. Listen for it, he'll say, even if it doesn't keep on beating, he'll say. When he tells you this for the first time, you are too young. You are rolling around in the sand, and you believe that you are actually made of seawater, and that there are tiny creatures living inside the safety of your ribcage. How could you know that he's telling you where love lives? This book really broke me. Oh my gosh, it's so stunning. The writing style is freaking incredible. Like, if you like that style, that's what's throughout this book, where it's like sentences just have so much meaning packed into them, but it can be easily read as like that's just what's actually happening in real life and those are her thoughts. But there's so much symbolism and metaphor in here, and it was so freaking heartbreaking. It talks about relationships, the complicated relationships between parents and partners and friendships, and then by the end it really pulled the narrative all together, where things just made so much more sense of like how things happened and what ended up happening. But throughout the book, I really had no idea where it was going or what was going to happen, because it is just very much like a slice of life, but through these like gorgeous little things that are in reference to whales migrating and a beached whale on the shore, and like all of these little things. Overall, five gold stars. So there is Creatures. Also, I wanted to give a quick shout out to my very wonderful dear friend Tanika, who sent me an early birthday gift, and it was this gorgeous necklace. They're made of freshwater pearls. Her and I met in art school in Toronto, and she sent me this, and I cannot get over it. So if you are able, definitely go ahead and check out her shop. I'll link it down below, but it's called Mokomara, and it is, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Mokomora, but anywho, I love it so much. So stunning. I can't get over it. I've been wearing it every day since I got it. And in a shocking turn of events, your girl has picked up Middlemarch again. I know in a few vlogs ago I was like, screw Middlemarch, I can die without reading Middlemarch and I'd be fine. What is the point? I think if I'm real with myself, I have to put the ego aside and be like, I can live the rest of my whole life. Like, I can die without reading Middlemarch and I'd be fine. Me ways have been changed, and that is all due to the Book Dumb podcast, which I will link down below as well, because oh my gosh, it's amazing. If you just love hearing people geek out about books, I highly recommend it. Fun, weird thing for me is that one of the hosts' name is August, and it's very jarring because that's my name and I just don't know anybody else who's named August. And so when the co-host Kendra is like, and August, what did you think? It's just so jarring. It's not a common name, and I just would love to be friends with the other August in real life. So August and August, like, let's be friends, let's talk about it. But August was saying, that's so weird to me. August was saying that Middlemarch is her favorite book of all time, and the way that she talked about it made me feel so incredibly re-inspired to pick this back up. I don't know what she did to me, but she was just describing how every chapter is like a completely different character. It's a completely different story. You never get bored, and once you start to feel like, okay, we're getting a little bit bored, a new character is introduced, and it's just all about characters and character development, and there's not one clear narrative. Everyone's just on their own journeys, which is what I love about literary fiction. I love character development. So once I shifted my own personal lens of wanting to read this and tackle it because of my ego of being like, I can say that I read Middlemarch and just be like done with it and have that superiority ego of like, I read Middlemarch, oof, look at me go, I'm so smart. I shifted my lens to being like, oh, this is a book that I can actually enjoy, that someone probably around my age, I'm guessing she's around my age, also really loved. So why the heck not? Let's try it out. So I ended up picking up my own copy because the copy I was using was my mom's and it was hardcover. And I really do believe that if you're reading a book physically and if you're not having a good experience with the physical book, I think changing the format might actually help. For me, it's because the font is still itty bitty tiny, but it's a paperback and it's mine, so I feel like I can annotate it. I feel like I can dog ear the pages. I feel like I can, you know, do what I want with this book, and I love paperbacks so much more than hardcover. So I bought my own copy the other day, and now I'm on page 251, just at the start of chapter 27. And I'm really enjoying it. And at the same time, I'm listening to an audiobook where this amazing, like, regal British, like, narrator is telling me the story in my ears at the same time that I'm reading it, and it has completely changed my experience. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really... What has happened? Oh no, I have changed my tune, friends. Thank you, Book Dumb Podcast. Please give them a listen. They're fantastic. I love their podcast so much. It's just so fun to listen to, very relaxing, and then you just get to geek out over books. So that is that one. That concludes this reading vlog, friends. I honestly have no idea what book I'm gonna pick up next because the past 2 books that I've read have been 5 stars, and I'm nervous about picking up another one. I don't know, we'll see, but I'll check in again for next week's reading vlog. Thank you all so much for being here. There's so many new faces. Welcome, 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 my friends. You're all welcome here. I appreciate you so dang much, and I hope wherever you are, you're doing really, really well. And I will see you all very soon. Stay cozy, my friends. Bye!